Well, good afternoon. We're delighted you're here. It's always good to see a good crowd. This is what we call the CART Conversations, and that's basically an informational session. If you've not been with us before in these sessions, let me remind you or tell you the first time, this is an information session. It is our intent to provide you with information that will be useful to you in helping CART grow. If there are topics that you would like to see in future conversations, please let either Tiffany or myself know about those, and we'll include them later down the road. We meet once a month. And so we're delighted you're here tonight, and we look forward to a good conversation, and we look forward to giving you good information that is useful. So with that, we'll turn it back over to Tiffany.
Thank you, Rod. Rod is our fill-in tonight. He is the immediate past president, for those of you who do not know, of our board of directors, and that is another 2 years that he will be on the board with us. Our new president is very active and involved. Carol Burdette is on the the Pets Alliance for Rotary International, and is actually in Evanston this week. And so she had hoped that they would be able to take a break and she could join us tonight. But unfortunately, you remember Evanston is an hour different than we are. So I think they are still busy at work. And she texted me earlier today and said she did not think she would make it, but she wanted to tell everyone hello and thank you for being here. We actually, as Rod said, this is a conversations call. We try to have topics that are timely, not only for CART, but also for your Rotary Club, for your personal and professional business as well. And I am personally very excited that we have so many new district CART chairs on with us tonight, and several of our district governor chains from different districts that are here. Eric, we're excited to have you tonight from District 7750 in South Carolina. And of course, Dick Harris from Central Florida in 6980, both parts of the district governor chain. And I think this is a great opportunity. I hope you will encourage your classmates and others from your district to join us on the third Thursday of every month as well. We also have some new district chairs tonight, some faces that you may not have seen yet. We have Greg Ross from the middle part of North Carolina, from Andy Taylor from the western part of North Carolina, and we have Victoria Fox from Central Florida, and also Sherry Krause from Florida, who is a co-chair, and Glenda Kessler from Georgia, who has been on with us for a long time volunteer for the CART Fund. In addition to that, we have a new board member that is joining us tonight as well. So I wanted you guys to see him. John Powell is the newly elected secretary of the board, and he is in for an 8-year stint with us, between serving as secretary for 2 years and then vice president for 2 years. And then he will be our president for 2 years. And then he will be the immediate past president for 2 years. And John is from West Virginia. And I look forward to you guys getting a chance to meet him as the time moves on throughout the next few years. So each month, you may recall, we have a fundraising idea of the month. We have a public image idea or tip of the month. We also have other topics that we think are very timely for you. Tonight, because it is the first meeting of the new Rotary year, we're going to do a couple of different things. We are going to have a fundraising idea. Our public image idea of the month is going to be moved to next month, because we really wanted to spend some time on the online donor portal. And as you also may recall, every month I issue a challenge for all of our district chairs, something that you can work on and accomplish before our next call. And if you'll let me know that you do it, this year we're going to keep a running tally for the whole year and try to have a little competition amongst our district CART chairs. So I'll be sharing that with you a little bit later as well. But the first thing we wanted to touch on tonight is a fundraising idea of the month. And I touched on this a few months ago. We mentioned it briefly, but we wanted to give it some time because several of you have asked questions about it. And it's the club that I'm in with Michelle here in Western North Carolina. We did a Rotary jersey to raise money for CART. And I wanted to make sure I mentioned it to you all. I know several of you have them. Some of you have purchased them. Some of you wear them often. But there are some questions about it because we do use the Rotary wording, the Rotary logo. And I wanted to make sure that there was no question, no doubt in anyone's mind that you must get permission from Rotary International if you're going to use Rotary on something that you're using as a fundraiser for CART. For those who may not be familiar, we are not a Rotary International partner. We are a partner of Rotary clubs and Rotary districts, like your club and your district that are participating. But if you think about it, we're not an international organization. All of our money that we raise stays in the United States. So we're not like Disaster Aid or Shelter Box or Habitat for Humanity, some of those organizations that really do things around the globe. So we're not a Rotary International partner, which means that we're not allowed legally to use the Rotary logo and trademark as part of our logo. So some of you may recall that in October, a year and a half ago, we changed the CART logo to no longer include the Rotary cog. We created the new logo that you can see in the background of Bill Parker's screen background saver. That is the current, and I say new, it's been about a year and a half. That is the current CART logo, and we have different versions of it. Thank you, Rod, added it as well. We have different versions of it, but the colors in that logo are part of the branding template colors that are part of Rotary International's branding board as well. And we did that intentionally, but you will not see the word Rotary. Now, if you want to use the CART logo, you have permission to do that for your fundraisers, your publicity, your events. We provide all of the information that you need to do that on our website on a tab called Resources. You can download all of our logos. We're updating all of that right now with the beginning of the new year. We're creating a new brand board for everyone. We're creating new templates for folks. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. But you can download all of those logos directly from our website. However, if you want to use the Rotary cog, or you can use only your club logo or your district logo in addition to the CART logo, because we are a partner of your club or your district. But to get back to the jerseys, our club wanted to do the Rotary jersey as a fundraiser for CART. So we have them that say number 24. We got a sponsor to cover the cost of the jerseys. And we applied for and received a one-time licensing approval from Rotary International in order to use the Rotary name and likeness. And what happens is it has to be tied to a specific event if you are going to use a non-licensed Rotary vendor. The reason we used a non-licensed Rotary vendor is because there were not any vendors at that time that offered jerseys. Now, since then, there is a licensed vendor in Glenda's district that is going to be adding the jerseys to her inventory. But at the time, there was not. So we went through Rotary International. We filled out all the necessary paperwork and got approved for a one-time licensing fee, not a fee, excuse me, a one-time licensing approval to use a non-licensed Rotary vendor and to create these items that we could then sell and use as a fundraiser for CART. There are a lot of rules and regulations when you do that. So I'm telling you this because it's a learning process, and I want you to gain from all of the experience that we went through to do this process. It can be done, but it has to be specific to an event. So ours was tied into our district conference, which was held in April of this year in Greenville, South Carolina. And then it has to have your club or your district on the item. So we have our district logo on one of the sleeves. And then on the other sleeve, we have the CART logo. And those were both approved by Rotary International. Now, when you get this one-time licensing fee, I know y'all are thinking this sounds really complicated. It's not horrible. It's a lot of work, but it's not the end of the world. But when you get that one-time license approved, it has to be for a one-time event. And here's the kicker, you can only sell those items 90 days before the actual event date. So last summer, when these 600 jerseys came on a slow boat from Asia, from China, they went into my storage building in the backyard and sat there for 6 months because we were not allowed to sell them yet. So we were allowed to bring them out in January, and now we have a limited number of them left that we are still selling. But we created a postcard that went in with each of them to explain what the fundraiser was for. We gave away some to some VIPs. Barry Rassin has one. Patrick Eakes has one. Jeremy and his wife have one. So we've given them out in some instances, and we've sold them. And Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that we've raised somewhere around $6,000 to $8,000 now, I think, at this point, which was a great fundraiser for a club of 28 people to raise some important funds for CART. So we have them currently on our website for our Rotary Club, for citizensrotary.org. We've shared it a couple of times on the CART Fund social media. But I wanted to make sure that everyone understood that this, just because I'm the one that has them, is not a CART Fund fundraiser. It is a club fundraiser. And any club, any district can do a fundraiser for CART, for any other organization, like you always do. And as you guys know, every month we have a different fundraising idea of the month, and we share all these great ideas that all these different clubs and districts are doing. But I want to make sure that everyone's clear that this is not a CART fundraiser. It is a club fundraiser for CART, because I want to make sure that everybody got that part. And so it was done with a sponsor giving money to the Four Seasons Rotary Charitable Foundation, who then paid for the jerseys and then is collecting the funds. And then we make the donations to CART whenever we sell them. All right. So are there any questions about that? I'm happy to entertain questions if you have them. Hopefully I explained all of that. Yeah.
Is there a cheat sheet on this?
Well, no, but if you decide you want to do something that is Rotary branded, they have a form that you have to fill out on their website. Yeah. Okay. And then as far as that, I just followed the same plans that I would if you were doing any fundraiser. You know, I created a flyer using the branding information. We put it on the website. But if you do that with Rotary stuff, you have to either use a licensed vendor or get the one-time approval. And there will be in the future, it's called Civic Swag. It's the partner that we use that's on our website. She is in Glenda's district down in Georgia. And she is now, she has talked to the vendor that makes these jerseys that I buy them from in California. And she's going to be adding them to her inventory of her so that she can get it approved through Rotary, and it will not be this long time process if you wanted to get a Rotary jersey in the future. Michelle.
Andy wore a shirt the other night, and on the back of her shirt was the QR code.
Yes.
And all you had to do was go with your phone to the QR code, and it took us to our site. And I was just wondering who she got those from.
Oh, we had those at the annual meeting.
Yeah, that's where I got it at the annual meeting.
It's one of Erin's products.
Mm-hmm. Erin's products. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Erin is in the process of adding all of the inventory that she had at the annual meeting to our website. So if you want CART branded materials, we do have that on our website. But that's a great t-shirt. It's really kind of a cool product. All right. So any other questions about the jersey? If not, we're going to move on to our next speaker, which is Bill Parker. He was a member of this board for a very long time. He has just rolled off the board, but we are very fortunate that he has taken on a new role with an action group. And tonight he's going to tell us all about that.
Anyway, I was relaxing and enjoying life for the first time, and I got a call from an organization called ADRAG. And they said, we'd like to have you on our executive board. So unfortunately, I'm unable to say no. And so now I'm one of the newest members of the executive board of ADRAG. So I'd like to spend a few minutes talking to you about ADRAG. First of all, for those of you who are not familiar, there are two worldwide groupings within Rotary. One grouping is called fellowships. And fellowships can be motorcycle riders, can be fellowship of campers, singers, Boy Scouting, whatever. But they're fellowships. They reflect common interests around the world. The other grouping are called RAGs, or Rotary Action Groups. These are worldwide organizations of Rotarians and Rotaractors that are focused on accomplishing things such as WashRag, which is the water and sanitation Rotary Action Group. Well, we have an organization called ADRAG, which is the Alzheimer's Dementia Rotary Action Group. And CART was the founding member, and CART was the organization that was behind the start of ADRAG The beauty is ADRAG is an officially recognized Rotary International organization. It's open to like-minded Rotarians who want to do something about Alzheimer's or dementia. And it's CART's entree into officialdom within Rotary, because CART itself is a separate 501c3 that is associated with Rotary clubs and Rotary districts. But ADRAG is an official organization recognized by Rotary International in Evanston, Illinois, and it's open to any Rotarian or Rotaractor around the world. ADRAG is made up of a couple of members, CART being the first member of ADRAG. There's another organization out of the United Kingdom called REPOD, and REPOD focuses on total support for people suffering with Alzheimer's. That is the the patient and the caregivers and the family members who are taking care of those individuals. And they provide memory cafes, they provide assistance, they provide information, they provide respite care for caregivers. Because believe me, when you're a family member and you're providing support for another family member with full-blown Alzheimer's, it is a full-time, highly stressful effort, and you need a break also. Another organization that is part of ADRAG is something called Alzheimer's, I'm sorry, let me reflect. Music Men's Minds. Music Men's Minds is an organization out of California, and they have discovered that people can sing, they can play music, they can do all sorts of things, even after they've long lost their ability to communicate verbally. It's a wonderful organization. And then there's the Alzheimer's Fund, which is a group of very, very wealthy people in the Northeast that have very high power fundraising, and they raise between 78 and 130 million dollars to fund Alzheimer's research. The next organization is the Alzheimer's Association. And believe me, it is wonderful to have the Alzheimer's Association linked with ADRAG, because when people ask us, where can we get information about Alzheimer's? Like, where are the resources? Where are there human testing opportunities, things of this nature? We can go to the Alzheimer's Association. They've got big bucks, they've got huge staffs, and they're a lot bigger than CART or Music Men Minds or REPOD, and they can provide this information. Then there's another group called the ADRAG affiliate in India. And in India, Alzheimer's was treated as something that was embarrassing, something that needed to be hidden away. If your family had a member who had dementia or Alzheimer's, that member was hidden away somewhere, away from public sight. And a Indian Air Force wing commander, retired, who goes by the name of Sabi, decided that we need to bring Alzheimer's out into the open. So he has created the ADRAG affiliate India, and he has given presentations to over 100 Rotary clubs. He has sponsored Alzheimer's walks. He has provided information to families about resources that can assist them in dealing with family members who are suffering with Alzheimer's. He has provided training opportunities for unemployed Indians to become caregivers and be able to go to people's homes and provide respite care and assistance to the families. And so far, he has created 7 sub-organizations within India and has done an absolutely fabulous job in getting the word out that Alzheimer's is a disease like any other, and there are support opportunities out there, but they need to be made available to the people who are suffering. And finally, there's an organization that we are in communications with, but have not yet fully brought on. And this is Dementia Friendly America, or DFA. Dementia Friendly America is a nationwide organization that was started in 2015. And what it's trying to do is bring together everything you need to know in a community in order to assist people who are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia. And again, it's pretty much like what Sabi is doing in India. It lets you know what the medical opportunities are, what the healthcare opportunities are, financial support, medical support, respite care, all the other things. And it's focused on educating people within a community and every community within the United States so that the community can be more friendly to the family and caregivers of the patients who are suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So that's probably more information than you ever wanted to know, but go to the Alzheimer's Dementia Rotary Action Group website, or you can find that by going to the RI list of Rotary Action Groups and find it there. It's a minimum of $25 donation to become a member. I encourage you to sign up for the newsletter. You have to sign up to get an ADRAG newsletter, and suddenly you will have a window to worldwide efforts to support research and funding and information opportunities and walking for Alzheimer's opportunities, everything. It's really eye-opening. With that, I'll turn it back to Tiffany. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Does anyone have any questions for Bill about the acronym that we call it ADRAG? He did mention that you can join, you can be a member. They have a website. I'm not sure if they've gotten that updated yet. They're working on that, I believe.
They've got it updated now, and they've linked with an organization called My Mayberry, and My Mayberry is a funding entity that operates. They collect the money for the organizations, and they charge only what you're willing to give. You can have a 0 to 5 to 20%. And that allows us to collect money from around the world, and no matter what shape it is, whether it's euros or whatever. So that has really made a big difference on getting the funding into the organization.
So Teresa's at the airport, and she typed a question into the chat and asked about getting the link to the newsletter. I believe, Bill, you have to go to the website and opt into that. Am I correct?
Correct. That is correct.
Just like you do on the CART Fund as well. Great. All right. Thank you, Bill. We look forward to, oh, Andy found it already. Wonderful. We look forward to hearing more about that as you get more involved with them. We will look for updates from time to time, and we appreciate your time tonight. So, because it is the beginning of a new Rotary year, this is an excellent time to start our plans early for the year. And I know we have some folks from the district governor line on tonight. We have some new district chairs. We have some CART Fund Club chairs on with us tonight. And so I thought this was a good idea for us to start talking about the portal. And there's something that you should do this month before the month gets away from you. And I've asked Michelle to join us to talk a little bit about that. And Michelle, if you want to share your screen, but if you need me to do it, just let me know.
If you would share your screen, that would be great. Just before we go to the reports and look at the district goals, I have gone through the list actually of the people on the call this evening. And just because you have given a position in your districts does not mean that you will get a position in the CART fund or the CART portal. And if you've not gone into the CART portal and you are a district governor and you want to look at all your clubs, you probably need to let us know. I can't go in and move everybody, but I did go in and move a couple of people just now and upgrade you so that if you are a governor and you want to go in and look at everybody in your district and see where the goals are, just work through the portal. You can do that and can have access to that. The district CART chairs have access to that. The division people have access to that. When you make a donation in the portal, if you're whatever level you are in and you're on DAC-DB, that level will come into the portal. But I just went through a couple of names and noticed that you're now a governor and you're number one in my portal, in the portal. So I've gone ahead and upgraded you. So it's a very simple process, but I can't read people's minds. So my phone number is the phone number on the portal. And my email, Tiffany, you can put that in, is mgellick@gmail.com. And if you let me know, it's a very simple thing for me to do, and I'm happy to do it for you so that you can go in and look. Let's come back now to goals. Okay, so every district governor has goals for their district. They have goals for the CART fund. They have goals for the international, Rotary funds, whatever they have goals for. So if in your district, your governor says, my goal is $40 per member in your club, okay, $45. You can go to reports. Okay, Tiffany. You can go to club goal setting. And we get all of them. So, but if you come to the right of the page, it tells you all the years. It tells you how much you've raised in the past. If you go to the right side, upper right side of the page, Tiffany, it says set my club goals. We have higher levels, so sometimes things are in there, sometimes they're not. Okay, set your goal. So you can go in and calculate your goal per capita. Apparently, my new president went in and set a goal of $1,000, which was $35.71 per capita. I think our governor's goal is $45.
Sorry, I did that yesterday, knowing that we were getting ready to do that. So that's good. You can tell me what it is.
It's $45 per cap. So if you set the cap, it will
25, you said?
give you your club goals.
Is that that's per year, correct?
Per year. Correct. So it's $45.
Oh, sorry.
45. Now, there are governors who have gone in the past. Tammy Mosteller did this. She went into all her clubs in her district and she set their goals. Obviously, there are clubs that supersede their goals, and then there are clubs that don't make their goals. But at least it gives you somewhere to look at and somewhere to go. I mean, really, our best year was $9,790, which was this past year. So one would hope that we will do more in 24 and 25 than our goal, which our governor has set. So, but this is up to your president can do this. You can do this along with your presidents. The governor can go in and set this. Now, if your governor wants to do this, I need to give you level access to go in and do this, but you can do it for each one of your clubs. So early on, if you're now a new district CART chair, if you're a club CART chair, okay, if you're just even a club CART chair, can go in and say and look and see how much their club has raised since 2021 of their yearly contributions and get an idea of what you've done. So Andy, that should help you as a new district CART chair to get a chance to see how much the clubs have raised in the past and where you can set your goals for your clubs.
Michelle, I have a question. Has RI updated the membership yet? Last year, they didn't do it for several weeks.
I think
No.
I don't think it has happened yet, Glenda. And I do have another report that has not been updated as well that I'm still working on, but I do not think that they've done that yet.
But that's a good
Right.
point, Glenda. Thank you for bringing that up, because the numbers that you will see in the portal, we get from Rotary International. And so that has to be updated with the new numbers, and your per capita is calculated based on July 1's numbers, but those are not in here yet. That's correct. We
Okay.
have to run a report to get all of the new numbers imported. But if you do per capita, it won't matter what the total is. But if you do it based on the total, then it calculates it. It will probably recalculate it when they do import the new numbers.
The other thing that happens in the portal, and I am thrilled when I call somebody and they say, oh, I was working with the donor. I was just showing a donor how to make a donation in the portal. Every time you work in the portal, it leaves a footprint. And so daily, I go into the portal and I'll see that John Smith went and tried to make a $20 contribution and it didn't go through. And so I'll wait a day or so, because sometimes it takes adjusting and it updates. And then I might call John or send him an email and say, hi, I noticed that you were trying to make a donation in the portal. And I made 2 calls the other day, and one person said, yes, I just wanted to see how easy it was to do it. But I didn't have my information with me, so I haven't done it yet. So what happens is I'll go and eliminate it, because otherwise it ends up in the totals. Or another person said, I was showing somebody else how to use the portal. And I love that. And so go ahead and do that. But if for some reason you get an email or a call from me, it's not that you did anything wrong. It's that there's a footprint left in the portal that needs to be eliminated. And that's an easy fix as well. Recurring contributions. For some reason, and it's fluctuates from day to day, because I had someone on the phone the other day that said they were trying to make a recurring contribution with a credit card. And for some reason, they could not get to the second page. And interestingly enough, I had the same issue. And I tried it on my iPad and I had the same issue. Right now, I just went to my iPad and tried to do exactly the same thing, and it was fine. So I'm not sure whether it has to do with the portal itself or whether it has to do with connections where we live or what equipment we're on. I do know that it can be challenging to make a donation on your phone. Sometimes the numbers are not correct, or you can't hit the right numbers. Different browsers, I'm finding. Some of that is not in our control. And I do apologize. I have another gentleman who's still trying to make a recurring contribution who can't get in. If you are on DACDB, if you're not on DACDB, I need to know that at the beginning of our conversation. But if you're on DACDB, the greatest part of using the CART portal is that connects with the DACDB Rotary database. So when you sign in, you need to have your DACD login and password. And I had a gentleman who said, I've tried it. And for some reason, we went back and we said, okay, does it work in DACDB? Yes. Came to the portal, it didn't work. But what we found out was his password was embedded into the portal somewhere when he was going in. Once he entered it correctly, he automatically got right into the portal. So there may be challenges. I am a volunteer. Terry Weaver is my counterpart. He does the back end of all of this. If you call me, I'm happy to help anytime I can. I'm happy to walk you through a donation, make a donation for you on the phone. I have people who call me and say, I just want to make a $500 donation. I'm like, give me a minute, I'll get on my portal. It's that simple to do sometimes. A reminder, as we start the beginning of the year, checks that come out of brokerage accounts, money orders, all need to be deposited directly into the bank. So if you're a district CART chair and you want to be the person to do that and do a manual contribution, let us know. I can get you a deposit slip. If not, you can send those to Tiffany and we'll make sure we get them in. Some donor advised funds will only send to the registered agent's address, which is our post office box. Just be aware that when they come there, Our treasurer is happy to let me know that they've been sent there, and we make sure that they get credited properly.
And we're going to go over all that at the training. Don't get overwhelmed
Okay.
tonight. I can see some people's faces already like,
Oh,
what?
I'm
And what is
sorry.
she
I'm
talking?
sorry.
Because
Well,
a
go
lot
on
of
and
these
set your
people,
goals for your. Go on and set your goals for your clubs. Set your goals for your district. And if you don't have access to it, call me and let me know, or send me an email and I'll get it to you.
right. That's the takeaway we want you guys to get tonight, is that now is the time to go in and look at the goals for your club or your district and set them. Either if you're the district chair and you know what the goal is of your governor and you want to set them for all the clubs, or communicate with all of your club chairs. If you've been creating that committee list in DACTB, you should be communicating with them. You can offer them the opportunity to go in and set their own goal individually. But that is our takeaway, and our challenge for each of you this month is to set goals and get them entered into the donor portal by the end of July. And just keep in mind that the numbers may change a little bit based on membership numbers, but if you do it based on per capita, that'll be fine. But know what your goals are for your district, because as Michelle mentioned, most district governors set goals for their clubs as far as per capita and total giving for the Rotary Foundation, for Polio Plus, and many of them also do for CART. Some of them do not, because we're not at that level of support in every district that we are in many. And so now's an opportunity for us to continue to work on that. So that's your challenge for this month, is to set goals and enter them into DACTB. And again, if you have trouble either logging in or accessing that information, maybe you're a new district chair, if you will reach out to Michelle directly, and her phone number is on the donor portal, which is mycartfund.org. And there is also a link to it from the CART Fund website. But her phone number is in the upper right-hand corner. It's an 828 area code, and you will get her, and she can answer your questions and talk you through it, and she can give you the correct access that you need. That was a lot of information, and that leads me, that's okay, but it leads me into my next point, which is that we are once again providing the online training for district chairs, and it's open to club chairs, and it's open to all of our district governor line. If you want to truly learn more about how we run our organization and the many resources that we provide, this is your opportunity to do this. It will be on Monday, July the 29th, which is about a week and a half from now, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And the link is the same Zoom link we use for everything. It's on our website. And of course, it's also in the DACTB calendar. You can register for all of our events in advance on the DACTB calendar by making sure that you select multi-district events. And if you register, it'll send you a confirmation email that you've registered, and it will include the link for you. And then it'll also email you the morning of and remind you that today's the day. Maybe it's the day before, sorry. But it will send you a reminder email the day before that says, don't forget, this event is tomorrow. And again, it'll have the link in there for you. Andy, do you have a question?
Where did you say to go and register?
DACTB under calendar.
Calendar. Okay. I tried that today to go in with the Zoom, but I ended up having to go to my CART or the CART Fund calendar. I couldn't figure it out under the district tab. So
okay. Yeah. So at the top of, and I'm happy to show it to you guys. That might be the easiest thing. Let me see. Okay. So if you go to your club or your district and click on calendar module, you find all kinds of options like district governor visit, district conference, district event, club fundraisers, club meeting, RLI, multi-district event. That one has to be selected in order for all of the CART events to show up. I mean, if you want to undo all of the other things, whatever you want to do, but multi-district event is how you will find all of the CART events. And you can go here to click register. I'm sure there's one down here somewhere that I haven't registered for. And it'll say register now. And then you'll just click through there and do that. So that is what we want you guys to make sure you go in and register in advance. But in addition to that, as a district chair, we want you to invite other people to join these meetings, both this meeting, which is always the third Thursday of every month, but also the lunch a la carte, which is our lunch and learn, our via Zoom, which is held on a lunchtime, Eastern time, with a different researcher every month. Yesterday's was very good. It is on our YouTube channel. Next month's will be on Wednesday, August the 21st, with Dr. Levi Wood from Georgia Tech. He is going to be presenting to us on August the 21st. Again, that is also in that calendar, so you can register for it there. But we also create events for them on our social media. So you can find it. I haven't done the one yet for the August one, but you probably saw the one for July. But you can go there and then you can share it on your personal social media pages. You can get your club public image chair to share it on their page. You can get your district public image chair to share it to your district page. And again, we'll go through a lot of that with the training session. We have a guidebook and a handbook that we provide for district chairs and for club chairs. And we'll go through all of those pieces for you so that step by step to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And we will do that on July the 29th. Greg, you have a question? No? Okay. Very quickly, and then I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has them. I mentioned the future dates already, so please put these on your calendar. Invite other people. Invite your district governor line if they're not here. We would love to have them to understand what we're working on and to see how hard each of you are working as well. And then in addition to that, I wanted to let you know that we're doing a lot of changes in the next few months. We are updating the website. We're going to be working with a company to do that, to bring it even bolder and more and prettier. I was going to say more beautiful, but that's kind of a weird word. But we're going to really make some improvements to the website. We are also ordering new little blue buckets because we are almost out. I think I have about 15 here at my house. I think Rod is down to 4 or 5, and a lot of people are getting low on those. We have gone through, I think, 1,000 in the last couple of months. And so this time we're ordering 3,000. So I'm going to count on each of you guys to want some of those so that they're not all here at my house. But we are going to have a new size this time. And I think that clubs are really going to like this because it's going to take a little bit less space in their storage, a little less space on their tables, a little less space in our storage as well. But we're excited about them. We're trying to nail down the logo on them now, and we'll get those ordered. I think I will have those by the end of July, but I'll have an update for that at the training session on Monday the 29th. We'll have all that information for you. In the meantime, before now and our next meeting and before our training session, I encourage you to go into the portal and look around. You can't mess anything up. I promise you won't. If you do, just call Michelle. She'll figure it out. But I don't think you can. But the other thing I encourage you to do is to go to the website and look around and be familiar with some of the resources and links and tabs that are on there. And if you can't find something, just let me know. Send me an email and let me know. I'll be happy to find it if I've left it off or if it's disappeared, which happens from time to time. We'll be happy to get it updated for you and get that information to you. If not, I want to say thank you so much for your time because we truly value the time and effort and resources that you put into our organization. It is because of each and every one of you that this year we exceeded $2 million in money raised, and we are so grateful. And we know that you're going to continue to exceed that this coming Rotary year. We are traveling and expanding all over and really making an impact. And we could not do it without you. So I'm thankful for you. I appreciate all that you do. And I hope that you will call on any of us that can help you for whatever questions you have.